everyone. Happy Spooky Month. Today, I'm going to be telling you a true ghost story. So sit down, grab your favorite blanket, turn off all the lights, and get comfy. Our story starts with a move. We had just moved into a house that had once been a morgue. This morgue had been renovated so that people could live inside it. The morgue was where dead people went, so most likely there were ghosts inside of that house. There was only one that I will be talking about today, one that had only ever talked to me. He will be called Henry. I did not know why Henry talked to me, but all I knew was that he did. I was the only person he talked to because nor my mom or my brother could ever talk about him. They had never had any experiences with him except for some slightly paranormal activity, like my brother's chair getting pushed when there was no wind, or my brother suddenly feeling a cold patch on his chair. But back to Henry. A couple of nights before I went to bed, I would talk to Henry. I would be laying down and I would hear him. In the back of my mind, I would hear this slightly middle-aged voice talking to me. He never gave me his name, but sometimes I could see slight patches of what he looked like. I will be putting a picture of what I think he looked like after this story time speed paint, so that'll be the best I can give. If I could never get a picture of him, I could never get any physical proof, so people just did not believe me. We would talk about things inside of my head, and sometimes I would speak aloud and then I'd get a response. To this day, I have no idea why Henry talked to me, or why he was so friendly, because he was very friendly to me, very polite, very nice. And I think that he saw me as a sort of daughter figure, because in one of our talks he mentioned that he lost his daughter before he died. I like to think that he projected his missing his daughter onto me. To this very day, I have not talked to Henry after we moved out of that house. Sometimes when I walk by, I'll hear something, not a coherent voice or a coherent sentence, but I could somewhat hear something. I remember shortly after we moved out, I went back there to try and talk to him. I didn't get close because somebody else had moved in, so I wanted to talk to him. Then on Halloween night last year, I went trick-or-treating at that house, and lo and behold, I could hear him. I could hear his voice faint, but I could hear him. I'd asked the lady who had owned the house then if she knew about Henry, and she said she did. So I think he had projected onto her afterwards. To this day, I wish I could go back and talk to him. We have many unresolved conflicts. Conflicts, not really, more or less just conversations I wish we had. And that, it concludes my real ghost story.